Welcome to Awakening Circle of Love and Light. I'm Dr. Jane Mountrose. I'm your host, a holistic coach, healer, minister, and founding director of Awakenings Institute, a nonprofit organization devoted to creating a more loving world. And today I'm delighted to be joined by my wonderful co-host we haven't seen in a while. She's holistic coach and healer, Loola Mora, and our special guest, Energy Healer Gretchen Comer. And our topic today is gratitude towards oneself and others. With Thanksgiving in the US and gratitude and for the blessings that we've all received this year on our minds, this takes the topic a little further, kind of really into the depths of it. And I think also I just want to say, speaking of gratitude, that we're grateful that you have chosen to join us. And I want everybody to know they're welcome. And it's really the more the merrier, the more love, the better. The world really needs it right now. And if you can, whenever you join us, please like our page and also be sure to tell us in the comments where you're from and add your insights. We really appreciate that. So as we begin, I also want to pause for a moment. We can all just kind of breathe a little bit and invite those beautiful beings of light who surround us so lovingly in the higher realms to support us and bless our circle with love and light as we open to the love we hold in our hearts and take this love and light into the depths of our being. So we can just breathe more love and light into our hearts, noticing that light of love that is always there for us. And release anything as we exhale that is not love, that we're ready to release. This time is for you to let go, to relax, to just be here and fill yourself to overflowing with love and light that we generate together, share, and then we can radiate that out all to the world, which is, I think, that's the frosting on the cake and really our main mission. And also be sure today to stay with us because we're going to do a beautiful cascade of love and light from some of the angels, guides, and masters who are supporting our mission. It's very special. So I'm really excited to get started. And I first want to ask you, Gretchen, as our guest, to share a bit about why gratitude toward yourself and others is important to you. Sure. And a little bit about yourself, please, so people know who you are.
Thank you so much, Jane. I really appreciate being here. I have a lot of gratitude for you and for Loola both. So I am a holistic energy healer. I am a sound healing practitioner and I work with crystals and I also work with therapeutic color and art. And so a lot of the work that I do is love-based. It really is based on the heart. And for me, I feel like gratitude really is something that comes, it's a form of love. It is a form for me of love, not only for other people, but also for the self. And it's something that's not often really discussed. You know, we learn a lot as children. We're conditioned to express thanks and say please and thank you and be gracious to other people. But I don't think it's often talked about being grateful for the self. It feels so important. And it really is an act of self-love to be able to be grateful for who you are, where you're at in any given moment. And so that's a lot of the work that I do with people and what I try to really convey with the energy work that I do as well. And I feel like gratitude can be very empowering as well. It's a beautiful flowing energy, and it's an energy that is accessible at any time. Of course, it flows more evenly when we're in a heart and soul connected place, but
right.
it is accessible at any time. I can tell from some of the low points in my life, and I think that everybody goes through, if you can find a way to just take a pause, just take a nice deep breath and just say thank you. And it's kind of a general statement to the whole universe, you know, just thank you. And that helps raise your energy vibration. It really can. And it can help pull you out of some of the low points. So,
yeah, that's beautiful. And I find also in my own meditations, the higher I go kind of in the elements or whatever, the more grateful I feel.
Right.
And it is like you were saying, it is, you can do it the other way too. If you're feeling a little down, you can think of something, and just anything. It's because it's energy. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm I'm grateful for my life. Maybe that's too much in that moment. But
Right.
just, I mean, you can be grateful that you have a chair to sit in, or that it's nice, you're not out in the elements. Just
Right.
anything.
Right. I especially find I have a lot of gratitude for things just outside my door, just being outdoors in nature any time of the year. It's amazing if you can just find one thing that attracts your eye and just give thanks for it, and then it's kind of a stepping stone. It's a launching point for bringing in more gratitude, even
Right.
the tiniest things. I'm grateful that I have a warm house, and I might think about that further and go into that deeper about, how does my house get heated, and who are all the people that I'm grateful for that make my life easier by creating the things that I need to heat my house. And so it expands out in this beautiful kind of flowing energy, and you can take it a lot further, or you can go really into the microcosm of things too, just the tiniest little thing. So yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love I love what you're saying, because actually for me it's such a high vibration gratitude that brings me to the present moment, if and I have observed myself, and I used to close my eyes for seconds every time that I'm like being grateful or want to say something to, like, to the universe, to myself, is something that I can breathe, and I feel how I get like lifted only thinking about the word, or actually I feel that connection that makes that emotion, and I can like tap to love in the same way. It's like I can close my eyes and say like, okay, I'm grateful for being right here right now with you too, and I can feel that
I'll second that.
vibration. you know and feels good, and so as you were saying, every time that I stop, because it's like making the moment to be grateful to, for something, I feel how I get in a higher vibration. So as Gretchen was saying, is like when you bring that feeling in your life, you start bringing it more and more, because like attracts more of that,
Right.
like for little things or bigger things. And but it's so easy to forget, actually sometimes I picture myself, or I like see myself starting to complain, and I have been doing like the exercise of, okay, but wait, what if we change like the coin and we see the other face, and instead of focusing on what I don't like, what I'm grateful for. And I can tell that is like a transformation, takes time at the beginning because my monkey crazy mind, but I can say that little by little brings me more to the present moment, and I can feel and tap to that higher sensation for little things, and for myself also, for noticing things, for example, for learning my lessons, for being compassionate with myself.
Right. And
So,
I think what the topic of gratitude for oneself and others, I think it is a very special one. Like you were saying, it's an opportunity to be compassionate to yourself. It's an opportunity to look at the gifts God gave you. We all have them. And if you don't see them, sometimes it's because we compare the things that we consider weakest in ourselves to things that are strong in others. And it's like, as if that's fair, right? Or we overlook the things that are really our strengths because they're so easy for us and so just so natural for us, we don't appreciate them.
Right.
So I think that's important. And if you're not sure, ask people what they enjoy most about you. Just because say you really want to know it, what they would say are your gifts because you're not sure what they are. And we all have them.
Right.
And it isn't society has its own idea of what it means to be successful or good looking or whatever. It may not be any of that, but it's there. We all
Right.
came with gifts. We're all uniquely special beings.
Right. It's a beautiful energy because it's free. It's a freely
Right.
accessible energy, you know, and it's something that you can give to other people freely without really giving of yourself. I try to recognize, especially during this pandemic, all the people that are working hard to keep like our grocery stores open and restaurants open and things that nature. People that help provide things for us, just to extend gratitude to them, just to say
Mm-hmm.
to your grocery store clerk, you know, thank you so much. This person's been standing on their feet for 8-10 hours, you know, bagging groceries or something, and just taking that little bit of extra time. And even if they can't take it in that moment, that energy is still doing its beautiful work by being expressed and going out into the universe.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
Yeah.
sometimes I think we may not know, but I don't know if there are ever times when someone says something nice to me that it doesn't wake me up a little bit,
Right.
even if I don't show it. But
Yeah.
I think it's worth, to me, it's worth reaching out and taking that chance that maybe you'll light up somebody's life a little bit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I love what you said, Gretchen, because you brought the pandemic, and I think I would love to bring that up too. You know, I think before the pandemic, we were, as Jane said, taking things for granted. You know, and after this time that we have been living a completely different reality than the one that we were like used to, we can admire and be grateful for those little things that maybe before we didn't think about it. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
now that we were like. We needed like to up like to we were not, how can I say it, like we couldn't get from granted, for example, that we're getting get food, you know, no deliveries or not places to go to eat, or the post, you know, we're waiting for a package and it's taking more than a month or something like that. You start saying like, oh my god, there's a lot of people behind all the things that I maybe didn't realize before, and we can like we started to be grateful for other things that, what in my opinion I was not so in my opinion and in my reality I was not so grateful for, you know. I was like, that exists, but I was not taking it like seriously and saying like, oh look, maybe it's a good time to say thanks for these
Mm-hmm.
things, you know, that I have been
Mm-hmm.
having for a long time.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I
And it
think I've noticed being married, it's very easy to just take for granted the things that your spouse does for you or for you, the both of you. And I try now to notice and be grateful, express my gratitude and let him know that I'm noticing, because it's interesting too, because I used to actually, I had such poor self-esteem. I wouldn't tell people that I appreciate them or anything like that. I wouldn't compliment people because I didn't think they would care what I had to say. It's like, they probably won't care if you what you have to say anyhow, so why bother? And then I thought, well, I don't think that's actually true. And if nothing else, I can do it for me, because I think if we reach out to other people, it does do something for us too.
right. And I agree. It expands, like what Lula said, it expands our awareness, and it really does make us be in the present moment when we're expressing it, you know. So our awareness grows with expressing that gratitude, you know, for
Mm-hmm.
all the people that it's touching. Yeah. And all the things that we do ourselves every day in our lives that we take for granted as well. You know, we take care of these bodies, and we take care of our brains, and we take care of our heart and our soul. And you know, this is what we have right now. So this is in this moment, you know, we should be grateful for who we are, and you know, for all of the lessons and challenges and all of the beautiful rewards that life provides. These are all making us more of who we are every day, and being grateful for it is a wonderful prayer of just saying thank you, you know, just expressing that to the universe or to the creator, or to your angels or to your guides, and just saying thank you. It's such a simple thing. It can become a mantra, and just say thank you over and over and over again until you really ground that in your heart. And I know that that can really help shift our energy and raise the energy vibration, not just for ourselves, but for other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting that raising our vibration is, and being in a place of just love, joy, gratitude, all of those things, they're very closely related. It's good for your health. It's good for your sense of well-being. It's interesting because when you feel good, say, it's like life is good today. If you ask yourself when you're in that place where life is good, well, how do you feel about yourself? Oh, I feel good. And how do you feel about what's happening in your life? Oh, I feel pretty good. So it's all connected. I think that's also it's a way that you can confirm maybe the holistic model, say that everything emotionally, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, it's all connected.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are levels, as we were talking, like it's everything is a process. And in our own processes, we start like getting more practice in something. I was saying, like doing that exercise of being more focused on the things that I'm grateful for, instead of those that I'm not getting yet, or the ones that
Right.
doesn't work how I think that need to work. That's I think the tricky one for me, one of them. And actually, when I start like saying thanks, for example, for things that I don't like, or that is taking me time to understand the message. When I
Thanks
start
for the
like,
challenge, you mean, Tanya?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yeah,
for example,
that's a challenge.
wow, I can tell, but at the beginning it's like not so easy. But I think when I focus on that and I see that it's challenging, but that maybe that's the way I can transform, because it's like looking for okay, this is happening for me, and there's a reason that is teaching me something. So it's like
Right.
asking for what I'm grateful for in this situation. It's like digging there, but it's another level, of those like different like stages of the exercise of being grateful. But that's one of the ones that I think this year has been one of my biggest lessons, is that I have been living a lot of challenges, and I think being grateful over the things that I already passed, and saying like, okay, there's another challenge coming right now. Let's try to see it like from that place of being grateful, or thankful. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that it's easy, but I think works. And I can say that I have seen my breakthroughs when I do it.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you can say, well, I'm grateful that this is resolving itself and it's going to come out even much better than I thought. Our
Exactly.
intention, you can mix intention into it too. And our intention is very powerful.
Yes.
So if we intend for things to work out well, then we offer that opportunity to those who are assisting us from above to manifest that with us.
Right. Right. I agree. I feel like gratitude with intention is like a superpower that we can all access, Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Yeah. And it really accelerates that energy even more, just really, really puts that out to the universe, and it's positively affects everyone. That's what's so amazing about it. It really touches everyone around you when you express gratitude. So yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if we're looking for ways to generate more love and light with the more I'm involved with the circle, the more I have this really clear image of a world with all these little points of light all around, and more of them are lighting up and all of them are becoming brighter. And I think it is realistic to say that it is possible. And I think quite likely to happen, that then there's going to be so much love and light surrounding the world that it's just going to lift everybody with it.
Right.
So I know Philip and I, we've been focused on this as our mission since the 1990s. And sometimes people say, well, that'll never happen, or they'll say things like that, or that's just a pipe dream and that's unrealistic. But actually it's very practical for some of the reasons that we've already mentioned. You'll feel better. Actually, it's great for your health. In fact, love itself is found to be anti-aging in its effects on the body. So, I mean, with all of the things that people do to preserve and aid their health, this is one that, and as Gretchen mentioned, this is all free. And it's chemicals. It generates chemicals in the body, good chemicals. It's almost, to me, it's like it just makes more sense than anything.
Actually, I have been observing that in my case, and I have seen in other people, when we talk about being grateful or being thankful or any higher vibration, we used to smile.
Mm-hmm.
We smile and we close our eyes for seconds. It's like you can see actually how it works in the moment, with others. So now that we passed Thanksgiving Day, for example, is nice how when we are gathered eating together without taking the subject and talking about it, but it's the gathering, and the for everyone there's different ways to celebrate. I can tell we can have like different icons and stuff, but it's like at least one day in the year, people used to make it that with that intention, So I think today's conversation is nice to invite people to do it like frequently.
Right.
You can do it
every day.
Yeah, every day. And when you start doing it like as a practice, you can do it, you can start playing a little bit, like during your day and observe, like, okay, or maybe you can create a gratitude journal.
Right.
That's beautiful. And
some people, I know some people I've talked to say they do that and it just completely changes their lives.
Absolutely. Because the exercise when you write and then you read what you wrote is so amazing. I can tell because I have done that. And there are so many moments in my life that I stop writing a little bit, and then I come back and I can tell that is a profound exercise. And you can like put your way according to the things you want to work on, because you can do it for yourself. If you are feeling that you need to get your esteem up or something like that you observe that you want to love yourself more. So like doing it like a little list of 5 things every day, for example, for the things that you are grateful for grateful with yourself, for example, that you are doing. I smiled today to that person that was sad. Little things that make you see how you are vibrating in a high energy or high vibration. Is lovely. So doesn't, as you were saying, Jane and Gretchen too, doesn't need to be like complicated,
or big.
Big.
It's not like you have to be grateful for everything. And I think all of us have challenges. Although I think you pointed out too that you can even be grateful for your challenges because life presents challenges to us as opportunities to grow. Without challenges, I think it probably would get kind of boring after a while.
You're right.
It's kind of hard to imagine because life keeps presenting them to us, but I do believe that's true. And when I look back over my life, I am so grateful for the challenges that I've had. It's interesting. I had one time when I wasn't sure if I was going to live or die. And I'm grateful for that too, because that changes your life. You know, confronting death, it really changes your life.
Powerful perspective. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I haven't had cancer or any major diseases like that, but it's interesting. So many people say that cancer was the best thing that ever happened to them. And you wonder, well, why is that? Because you grow. It changes, you know, it changes things inside. And I think a lot in the heart probably too.
Yeah, and actually, you know, I have seen many people that actually found their life purpose through and strong illness, you know, because then they realize that, okay, I have the mission to share with people and to facilitate their processes. And if the many, I think much of them like live the experience and they share with others the experience, and that's giving a lot of insights and support. So yes, it's like change, life changing. Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, takes time to understand sometimes like the gifts, you know, underneath those challenging moments or situations. But in the end, we go back or we think about it, and then we are like, oh yeah. Then we can see, then we have the aha moment. You know, like,
right,
oh yeah,
in retrospect, right.
Absolutely.
And it is through, really, I think through challenges that our gifts emerge, our spiritual gifts, our gifts, the things that we're here to do emerge, because it is, well, like the person who has cancer, maybe then they become some kind of a healer or counselor who counsels other people who are going through the same thing. And it's always, it's so, I mean, it can be anything for a person. So it's hard. You can't just say it's this or that, but I think that probably I would say that my gifts emerge through challenges, by facing challenges, for sure.
Yeah, I can tell in my case too. There's
that idea. Your greatest lesson is your greatest gift, or your mess is your message. Some people say.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there's something that I try to say every day, and it's kind of become like a mantra almost, but I say every day, I'm grateful for my life, for my breath, my family, my job, and then I list a bunch of things, and I always end by saying I'm grateful for all that I have, all that I do, and all that I'm receiving. And that really encompasses everything to me. It's the challenges. I'm welcoming all of the challenges that I'm receiving, as well as all of the good things too. So it really is about taking it all and knowing that that is just part of our evolution, part of our soul growth. And I'm grateful for the opportunities to have those challenges. Some people will never have the challenges that I have, and never be able to overcome them because they don't have the same. So it really expresses our unique individuality as well, and how, you know, we can also be supportive of each other and express gratitude for each other as well, for all the things that we're going through, all of the things that make us who we are.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. It makes me, I can feel it. I mean, you can, well, if you're speaking, we've been speaking about it, I think, on a very personal level too, which is, it does reach into the depths. I call it heart and soul, you know, that the heart and soul are connected, and we can feel the truth in some of these things too. Which, well, a woman was mentioning to me yesterday that in reading, she loves to read spiritual things because it triggers awareness in her. You know, and I think something like a discussion like this too, it triggers awareness, and it triggers recollections, and it triggers insights, and also maybe ideas for ways that we can improve our lives, and it's all great.
Right. Yes. It has that beautiful energy where you can just keep building it and expanding out, or go further in if you want to go inward and go into that kind of microcosmic part of yourself. But it's interesting because it can go both ways, and it can be very expansive energy that you can share freely with other people. That's what's so beautiful about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you can feel it in people. I mean, I think I feel in both of you. You have very big hearts, and that's a wonderful thing to have that. It's a gift to have friends and people around you who have big hearts.
Absolutely. I see that in you too, Jane. I see
Absolutely.
you couldn't do this work if you didn't have a huge heart.
Right. The circle of love and light.
Right. Absolutely.
But there was a time I grew up in a family. I would say my parents loved me, but there was so much wounding and alcoholism and all of that stuff. It was like our family was like a battle zone. And so I didn't have that when I grew up. I think I was more terrified than anything of life. So for anyone who's in that place, you can't heal that. And the love emerges.
Yeah. Profound
There's so
process.
much depth there too. There's so much depth there with what you've experienced, what others experience. There's just a tremendous amount of depth and awareness that could come out of that. And it's hard in retrospect not to be grateful, for all the things that made you, because we wouldn't have you doing this today.
Right. Just
So
like
very
the people who
grateful.
have cancer, and then, it's the greatest thing, and they come out doing work related to that. I think a lot of healers do healing work because of they start with their own healing. That's what happened to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, totally agree.
And it's beautiful because it's energy, and as you both said, we're expanding. So when we're healing ourselves, people around us are healing too.
Right.
And in our case, when we work with someone, when we are helping someone, we actually are facilitating something because we are the correct person to do it, and means that synergy of the process, so we are healing together. So it's beautiful because I'm grateful for that, for example, because it's a responsibility. Sometimes it's like, how can I say it, like challenging being myself, because I want to keep growing and growing all the time and seeing things and understanding what's the message or something like that. But it's because actually that's what it's giving me wins, when I work with people. So it's like a cycle. It's something that never stops.
Right.
And according to the place or the moment I am, is the people that I'm resonating with. And it's like how we start like helping each other in a way, as a community.
Right.
And
Right.
it's the same way as all the high vibration emotions, as Jen said, love, appreciation, gratitude, is like expanding, and also it's like bringing you the people to do what you are meant to do or here to do.
Right.
So it's magical, looks easy sometimes, but I think it's easy, but it's at the same time easy to get disconnected. So it's important to keep like
making habits of these things.
Exactly.
We're habit. We are creatures of habit too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's a good time now to move into our guided visualization for today. I'm going to share something. It has become one of my favorites. In fact, this is something I do for myself. And there's a little loved one too. Something I do for myself pretty much every day now. And this is also understanding, and we can be grateful for all of these beings of light who are around us, who are supporting us, angels, guides, masters, they're out there, and we may sense their presence to a degree, but they don't invade in our in our free will either. So they may not show themselves very much unless we ask for that. So we're going to ask for that today. And what I do is I pick specific beings and ask for cascades of light and love to be sent, and specific energies. So we're going to start. This is a nice kind of meditative experience. So you can, if you're in a place where you can relax and close your eyes, that's good. For anyone who's driving, please remain alert and keep your eyes open. Otherwise, just take this opportunity to settle in a little bit. And we always start with the breath, because when you start to focus on your breath, it takes your focus out of your mind a bit and into the body. So we can imagine breathing in beautiful light. And as we exhale, to just release anything you sense that you can right now, any tension. This is, as I mentioned at the beginning, this time is for you. You can just relax here. You're safe. And we're going to call on some beautiful beings. I'm going to start with the person is not a person, it's an archangel who is really the host of the Circle of Love and Light, who has been one of my greatest sources of inspiration in recent times. And this is Archangel Metatron, who is considered to be the archangel who is closest to God, a magnificently beautiful and powerful being of light. And we can ask Archangel Metatron to join us and to flow down a beautiful cascade of golden white sparkling light from above. Above the big light is the creator, so we're bringing it down pretty much from source through Archangel Metatron, and just feeling that light flowing over us, allowing it to flow through you. And I especially personally enjoy the sparkles, so I focus a lot on sparkling light, bringing it in through the top of your head, all the way down to your shoulders and your arms, to the tips of your fingers, all down your torso, all of the organs in your body. Love, love, and light. Every part of us can benefit from love and light. This beautiful high spiritual energy, bringing it down to the hips and legs, all the way to the tips of your toes and all around you, allowing anything that you're ready to release again, anything more, just to flow down into the earth where it can be neutralized and reconformed to go back up into the atmosphere as love and light. And noticing, as especially if you invite sparkles into every cell of your body. I think when I invite light into the cells, I can really feel, I start feeling vibrating in my body. And into your mind, just any extraneous thoughts, just let them drift away for now, and just let that light relax it, relax the mind. And then I'd like to invite another favorite angel, archangel of mine, Archangel Raziel. And Archangel Raziel is kind of like the Archangel Merlin, the Merlin of the archangels. He's a magician, kind of an archangel. And he's especially fun because he's very joyful. And he sends down rainbow light. So it's light with sparkles of every color of the rainbow. And we can just imagine that cascade of rainbow light flowing down over us. Again, all around us and all through all of the cells of our bodies, just as much as you want. And you may feel different places in your body might be needing different colors. You can imagine red, just vibrating all that red energy into your cells, the cells that need red. And we go through the rainbow orange, all of the orange sparkles going just where they're needed in your body. And again, all around you, filling your space with light. Beautiful yellow, sparkles of yellow. And you might notice as you focus on the different colors that they resonate with different areas of your body that need those colors. And green, sending down sparkles of green light, sending them to the places in your body that are open to green. And then blue, beautiful, beautiful, the most beautiful blue. Sparkles of blue into the cells of your body that want and are in need of blue. And then a beautiful indigo, bringing down that beautiful, it's kind of a darker, a deeper purplish blue color. Just a beautiful, beautiful indigo, sparkles of indigo anywhere in the body that resonates with that color. And then violet, sparkles of violet light. And violet is the highest spectrum of light that we can perceive as humans. It's a special spectrum of light because it has tremendous healing powers. It's often called Saint Germain, an ascended master. His violet flame is a very healing energy. Archangel Zadkiel also is an angel who specializes in violet light. And of course, with Raziel, we're getting violet with everything else. So you can just imagine if there's anything that needs to be healed, if you're sad or fearful or even something in your body, just sending that violet light to it. Filling your whole body with that violet light. And this is something you might want to spend a little more time with too. It's something I use fairly regularly, that beautiful violet light. And one of the wonderful things about it is as it clears whatever it is that is resisting the light, it brings joy. So we can focus now again on all of those rainbow colors and the joy that Raziel brings us. And then we have one more. This is actually a new being for me, the Ascended Master, Lady Nada, a beautiful ascended being who is said to have been a high priestess in Atlantis with a temple of divine love, who has a beautiful pink light that she sends down. So you can feel that cascade of pink loving light flowing over you, feeling all of those energies we've talked about here, feeling the love, the gratitude, allowing it to, again, find all the places in your body that maybe need more love, that are open to more love. And feeling the gratitude for these beings of light who are supporting us so beautifully. And just noticing, maybe you can notice the difference between the energies that we've been focusing on here, because they all are individual, and there are many more too. These are some of my favorites. With love also, you can, as you bring down that pink energy, fill your entire being with gratitude for the beautiful, the beauty, the beauty within you and the beauty of being you. And then, of course, the beauty, that same beauty in everyone around you. Maybe there's someone you can imagine now who needs some of that beautiful pink light, and you can imagine sending it to them. Sending love and sending, well, just positive thoughts to people has been shown actually to have an effect on them. And it's very easy to do. And when we're thinking of those in need, it is a blessing that we can offer. And of course, the world needs this. The world needs this love. And that is, of course, the mission here, the ultimate mission, to love ourselves, to bring that love to ourselves, and to be so full of love that it just radiates out from us, that our hearts become so bright with light. And you can ask Lady Nada to send down so much love that your heart just lights up bright with love. And then just let it go outward. Maybe you want to send more love to your community, to your neighborhood, to your neighbors. Maybe you have a broader view and want to send it out to the whole country, whatever your country is. I know in the United States, there are a lot of people who are suffering and they don't recognize that love is there for them. We can send it to them. Something wonderful, and you can open your eyes if you want for this. Something wonderful I love to do. My friend Gerald Ann, who has been on the circle when she was on a while ago, she said she has little globes, and she just imagines she holds them and sends love to them. So I got a set of them. They're little, these are little spongy globes. I have to keep them in a drawer because of my dogs, because they would eat the globes. But it's so easy to do something for the world. There are ways, just this, just imagining a world filled with love. And the more people who do it, the better. And each of us matters. I know there was a time when I didn't believe I mattered. And it was heartbreaking. I didn't really quite realize it. I just thought that was the way it was. But it isn't, and it's not true for anybody. We all matter. And whatever love you can offer to the world really matters. So I'm curious, Lula and Gretchen, if you have any thoughts on the cascades of love and light from above. How was that for you?
Oh, Jane, that was beautiful. And I felt the different energy, as you said, during the process, and how I got connected with each of them, and was beautiful. Actually, I get really connected with Lady Nara this time, and I actually sense a little bit of the nourishment, and I feel some like soft textures in my skin, and was beautiful because then I was able to share all that love and all that light that I received with, I can tell, with the world, because I feel like a Kerber that I was sending that light, I was like doing like a panel, like moving and I saw the colors coming from my heart, and I start from home, and then I was like, okay, I have more, so I can keep sending it to my neighbors. And you were saying that those words also, so I felt more inspired, and I checked if I was able to send it like abroad, and yes, I did. So beautiful. And I actually I released personal things that I was experiencing too. I was filled with that energy, I can tell. So wow, I'm still like in the trance. I can tell that I'm still like, woo, very nice, beautiful. Thank you, Jane.
Yes, it was
Oh, you're
lovely.
welcome.
It was lovely. I felt this gold sparkling energy that was like a glittery mist from Metatron, and it just kind of washed over me. And then um, Raziel was interesting. He's like he had a bucket of rainbows, and he was kind of laughing, dumping them on me. But it's like somebody that threatens you with a bucket, and then it turns out to be nothing. It's not water or anything. It's this beautiful rainbow of colors that came down over me. And
Mm.
I too felt really strongly with Lady Nada. I felt like really connected there. I kept hearing, my light is soft. It's soft pink. It's like a mist. It's like rose petals. It's really
Mhm.
soft. And so
Mhm.
it's interesting that Lula said something similar about that kind of soft energy. And I just
It is very soft.
visualized her just kind of putting it all around the world. I was kind of up in outer space and saw this big, beautiful pink like mist that was just surrounding the whole planet. It's just really, really beautiful energy, and I experienced them all differently as well. And
Mhm.
it's a beautiful process. It really it brought me fully to the present moment, and just filled my heart. My heart just feels like it's going to burst right now. It's so full.
Well,
So
that's what we want. And
yeah,
that's the thing, you can call on Lady Nada to send the cascade of love to you anytime.
yeah,
And I think Lula suggested it too, that she felt she was overflowing. It's not like you have to give anything up
right,
of yourself. You're just filling yourself so full that it has nowhere to go but out.
right. Lovely. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful experience. Thank you.
Well, oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I do that. I generally start actually my meditation in the morning by asking for Metatron to send divine light and love to me because it centers me.
Mhm.
And I would just kind of rest in that light. And then you can ask, and if you don't know who to ask, just ask the angels for whatever it is that you need. Just the angels for relaxing my mind. Please send down the perfect light for me in this moment. And then you can just be open, and maybe you'll notice a color. Maybe you'll notice, you can ask for sparkles too, by the way. I always ask for sparkles because they make my cells tingle. I like that. Anyhow, you can just notice what you notice. The angels for calming fear, the angels for concentrating. And you can also research the archangels, which is what I started doing on the internet. And then you can just invite different ones to send you love and light, and you'll feel connections with different ones. These are some of my favorites. And I think they really relate to, well, they all of the archangels are different forms of love. So you're getting love, and you can ask for love from any of them. And then there are other qualities that they bring too, like Archangel Michael brings strength and protection. You might ask for that when you're driving in your car if you're concerned. I always ask for the angels just to surround me, and I know they do. I imagine there are angels on all four corners of my car, so nobody can can get to me. Kind of like if they did, they would be bouncing off or something.
Right.
And I just think it's miracles are available for us, and then we become miracles for the world.
And I
Makes
love
sense to me.
what what you said, because actually when we ask for angels to show up, they in a very lovely way, you get a color or you get a word or you get something that give you the first step, the way to go, is amazing, it's magical, I think, because I like to do it a lot that way, it's like ask for the message they have for me that day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so I'm open that door, so they show what is like there for me, so I can, yeah, then I get a color, or sometimes I smell, or and it's nice like to look like, okay, I got this information, and like connecting with myself, because I'm the only one who really knows what that means, you know. So to connect and understand, like, okay, what's a color, so maybe I can look for the color of angels. Maybe what's a smell, so maybe I can go to a specific moment in my life. No, so there are lovely messages there. So it's like part of the puzzle. So that's the part of, oh, okay, I have the color. So I get like excited because I get that connection, and I can like be part of the process, you know, of that connection. So it's not only receiving the message, because the message could be only the color, but it's inviting me to go and do something. So that's the guidance. So it's lovely. It's lovely. Because sometimes as right now, you know, I get some images and colors and messages, and I get some information right now, but maybe if I, like 30 minutes after this gathering, I remember something of the meditation, maybe I will get another insight, you know? So it's really powerful, really powerful.
It is.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm excited.
It's miracles.
I'm full of love.
You know, we're talking about making miracles happen, really, when we invite in these beautiful beings to be more present in our lives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it feels like we might be complete. We just send a little more light out into the world as we close. And I want to thank both of you for being here and your beautiful contributions of love and light and insights. I would ask first, Gretchen, could you tell people how they could find out more about you and what you do?
Sure. So I have a website. It's spiraljourney.net. The business is Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services, because I do a variety of things. So they can connect with me there, or they can connect with me on Facebook. They can find me there under Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services. And I do online sessions, and I offer online programs for women right now. I have 2 programs that are going right now. And so, yeah, I would love to connect with people any way that they want to. And I'd love to see, if anybody has any comments or questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Wonderful. Thank you. How about you, Lula? You want to share how people can find out more?
Yeah, actually, with my name, Loola, Loola Mora. You can find me in Instagram or in Facebook, but I have also a webpage that is lulamora.com. And from there, you can click in other links and you will find me in social media or where you prefer to have more information.
Wonderful. Thank you.
She's on my website too, under my resources page as
well.
Yes,
great.
Also.
I'm a big so Lula fan.
Yeah, she's on the circles page too, which I'll get to in a moment. But I want to first mention that you can find out more about Awakenings Institute at gettingthrough.org/awakenings. And that's gettingthrough.org/awakenings. It's a big website. There are other parts. Gettingthrough.org/holistic talks about our programs. And from there, you can go all kinds of places. You can contact me there. I've been banned on Facebook for some reason. So I'm not on Facebook. You can also learn more about us in the circle at circleofloveandlight.org. And if you become a member of the circle, which is just a matter of opting in to be a member, then there's some free gifts for you from Lula and from me and from Phoenix, our other co-host. So we welcome you there. And wherever you're shining your light, you have our greatest gratitude for being part of the circle and adding light and love to both this gathering and to the world. So if you enjoy the circle, you can really help us to get the word out. There are a few things you can do. Well, the first thing is you can like our page. That would be nice. You can also share this video with your friends on Facebook just by sharing. And you can invite friends to come and join you and come into the circle. And then you can discuss what you're noticing from that. And also be that source, be that point of light that the world needs so much. We can use more and more. So again, we hope you'll join us next week when we take this further into possibilities that emerge when we open to more love and light. And I want to offer you all a wonderful week. And thanks again for joining us and for being that source of love and light.